Head coach Karen Ferguson-dayes with me. I'm Sean Moth. Great to see you again. We're talking women's soccer on CardsTV. Louisville Cardinals wrap up the regular season. They do so at home against Cincinnati on senior night. And I guess if there's a way to go into the postseason with momentum, you can't pick any better than a double overtime game winner.
Yeah, you know, the Cincinnati game's a rivalry game, so it always has emotion. It always has excitement. That one might have been a little bit too exciting for me, but certainly I think the fans enjoyed it. We outshot them 37-10.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I thought as the game wore on, we were going to get the second goal. I just was afraid we were going to run out of time trying to do it.
Yeah, as you look at the game, too, you said in the show last week, they scare you because they're good. And I know their record doesn't indicate that, but, you know, sometimes there's a talented team that just doesn't have a knack for winning, doesn't know how to win. And that can be a culture you have to teach, but I think that's a credit to your team and the fact that you've created that culture of a team that knows how to win games.
Yeah, and you know, we've been in overtime before. We knew it was at stake. There was no reason for us to tie. A tie didn't do us any good. So at that point, it was win or lose. So there wasn't anything strategically or tactically that we were doing to try to get out with a tie, where maybe earlier in the year, we never played a tie in games. So I think Georgetown, when we played Georgetown earlier in the year, a tie for them at that point was good, and they played like that. And it was smart for them to have done that. But it wasn't any good for us. So we had to play to win, and ultimately we were able to do that. I thought Cincinnati's goalkeeper was outstanding. She had made a couple of saves that I really didn't think she'd be able to make, or anyone would be able to make. And
Definitely.
She was outstanding on the night for sure.
Yeah, as you look at the Cardinal individually, and usually we focus in on soccer. I'm going to be a little more broad-based because when you include a Monday win for field hockey, Cardinal Fall Sports went 8-0 in a one-week period, and all 5 team sports had a player of the week. So it was a tremendous week for Cardinal athletics. One of those players was Charlin Corral, and I know that players are going to have good weeks, they're going to have bad weeks, they're going to have good games, they're going to have bad games, even good halves, bad halves. Charlin seems like since she stepped on campus, she's been just solid. She's been a rock.
Yeah, you know, our expectations for her are so high.
Yeah.
So we expect her to do what she's doing right now. And I just think in the beginning of the year, it took a little time for her to get acclimated to a new country, to the language, to a new team. And she was still very good then, but I think she was deferring a little bit to the team. Now she's taken over. And she's fun to watch.
Yeah, and of course she got the first goal of the game on a it's not a PK, it's a free set piece that was 19 yards out. I mean, it was right in the circle on top, and there wasn't a lot of pace on the ball, but you couldn't have placed it any better, and the keeper looked like she didn't know what hit her.
Well, what was funny about it, Sean, is she lined up to hit it with her right foot, and she looked at the wall and she looked at the keeper, and she went over to the other side of the ball. And there aren't very many women in college soccer that would be that comfortable taking a set piece with either foot. So she went over to the other side of it, and I actually thought she was letting Chelsea Hunter have it. And I was saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not that I don't trust Chelsea, but from right there, I know that what Char's going to do. And then she just bent it with her left foot. Absolutely fantastic goal, there's no question about that. What I loved even more is after she scored it, she's running to go get it out of the back of the net, to put it back down, to let's go, let's get the second one.
Yeah, you could see that in the highlight too as you watch it. And the Cards played even through 90 minutes after getting that game-tying goal, and then it was in double overtime, and Casey literally escorted the ball into the net. I mean, Charlin hit the crossbar, and you guys drew iron all night long. But great instincts, great follow, and you know, I was afraid we were going to get a handball, but she was going to make sure that ball got into the back of the net.
Yeah, no question. It was great heads-up play for Chelsea to follow it. All around, how it materialized was from Lauren Nash's hustle, hard work, and just what that kid is made of, just a toughness and a grit that you don't coach. So she kind of gets into a little scrum, toe pokes it back to Angelica. Angelica plays a great weighted ball over the back line, and Char spins onto it. Fantastic opportunity for her to finish with what she did. Hits off the crossbar, and then Casey runs through it. So it was good heads-up play for Casey to be following shots like that, especially because so many had been going off the crossbar for us. And it was great for her to get a goal. I thought Casey was very good on the night, so it was a nice opportunity for her to finish.
Anybody else stand out? You mentioned Casey, you mentioned Lauren. Anybody else?
Yeah, those two. Well, Char. I mean, I think Charlin was special on the night. I mean, she's really starting to show her abilities at another level now, which is nice because as
Yeah.
postseason gets underway here, it's nice that she's heating up.
Yeah, no question. The Cards are put in a situation where, had they lost that, they probably would have been looking at a 5 seed headed to either Providence or UConn. Instead, they're the 3 seed. They get the bye. So to say it was a big win is an understatement. Now you guys, as the 3 seed, go to the 2 seed in the other division. That's USF. You played in Tampa already this year. It was a 1-1 tie. This will not be a tie. This somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to head to Stores to the Final Four of the Big East Championship. I know
Right.
you've got to be excited.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, you can't tie anymore. So that is what it is. We understand that completely. South Florida's a very good team.
Yeah.
Have a great goalkeeper, have a couple of special players in the attacking area. Really like their defensive midfielders. So they're a very good team. We'll be prepared for them.
When you're in the regular season, you take 2, maybe 3 penalty kicks over the course of the year. Now you potentially can have 5 at the end of a match. What do you do as a team? I know you prepare all season long for PKs, but is there extra focus as you get into the postseason? Because a season can ride, a season can end on whether or not those 5 kids can get a goal home.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is you have to know who your 10 shooters will be because it can go up to 10.
Sure.
So I think that's really the difference right now. From a preparation standpoint, we start preparing for PKs the first day of preseason, believe it or not. So now it's just going to be us sorting out who the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 8,
Sure.
where the numbers are. But we know who our penalty shooters will be.
Hopefully we don't see them. It'll just be a win Sunday at 1 in Tampa. So keep an eye on UofLSports.com, and you can follow along and see how the Cards do and see if they can advance back to the old stomping grounds for Coach up in Stores. Best of luck, safe travel to you and
Thanks,
the team.
Sean.
For Karen Ferguson-dayes, I'm Sean Moth. Postseason is here, and we'll talk about it next week right here on Cards TV.